Hello, welcome to Ennara Reacts. Today I am checking out a comedian named Gary Delaney, who was recommended by a subscriber and is apparently married to Sarah Millican, which is a comedian that I've watched and enjoyed before. So let's see how he goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Gary Delaney! Hello, Liverpool! All right, rock and roll, lock and load. Let's fuck this shit up, right? I've been studying how people put shows together. There's three things you're supposed to do at the start to put the audience at their ease before you get stuck into the meat of the show. Number one, location. Let them know that you know where you are and who you're talking to. Number two, get to know your audience.
On a tour,
find out a little bit about them. Number three,
places.
give away a little bit of something about yourself. Tell the audience a bit of something about you. So let's crack on with those, shall we? Location. I've been doing this for about 20 years, something like that, and I thought I'd try and write a universal, generic opening line that would work in any comedy club, in any theatre, in any arts centre, the length and breadth of the United Kingdom. So let's give that a go, shall we? Here we go. Joke number one. Hello, it's great to be here. In fact, it's great to be anywhere, as last night I was in your nearby rival town.
With an unspecified name.
Aren't they a bunch of cunts?
Do towns
In
have
fact,
rivals?
I was amazed at how stupid, poor, inbred and criminal they all seem to be. However, you lot all look lovely and not like them at all. I am just like you. Please like me. Those last three words being the most honest you'll ever hear from a comedian. So that's joke number one. Here we go. Right, joke number two. People from Manchester, aren't they cunts? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that's a fairly transparent
English, I don't know
technique there,
Manchester,
Delaney.
but okay.
Clearly, wherever you go in the country on any given night, you just adapt that to wherever you are for an easy laugh out the local crowd. Nope, always Manchester. Works anywhere, really. Pretty much a universal reference for a shit town. Cornwall, Scotland, they've all heard how shit it is. You're guaranteed a laugh with that anywhere. Not entirely anywhere. I did find one place that didn't find it so funny.
Manchester?
And I presume that's because somebody explained it to them. There you go. There you go. Sorry to anybody watching this online in Manchester. Rest assured, when I play Manchester, fucking Liverpool gets it. So don't worry. I am doing this both ways round like a whore. Well, that was a more vivid image than I was expecting at the start. So, right. Getting to know the audience, that's banter, right? And I don't really do banter, that's not my thing, but nowadays it's considered de rigueur, you know, to prove your comedy chops. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to fire up the Bantosaurus and just very quick, right. If you're going to do a bit of banter, you look for somebody who's got friendly, open sort of body language, you know, and looks in a smile, looks like, you're right. Well, you do actually kind of look like, you tend to avoid people who've got like sort of, you know, shaved heads or their guns sticking out, or massive people look like this go down the gym and could fucking beat you up afterwards. So I probably wouldn't take the piss out of you, sir. I mean, look at the size of your arms. You look stronger than a paedophile's password. Thank you. Right. Then the next thing you're supposed to do is tell the audience a little bit of something about you, make it a bit personal, give something away. So here we go. So I'm going to start off, get into the one-liners proper, with 10 facts about me. Here we go. Number one, I'm a lot sportier than I might look. In fact, I picked up a little niggle at the gym the other day. I mean, he pronounces it Nigel. There we go. Fact number two, the other day a woman described me as a bit of a looker. Yeah, I know. Well, voyeur was the actual...
Two distinctly different things there.
Fact number three, I like to give a percentage of my earnings to charity and also other strippers. Fact number 4, I recently tried twerking. It was a disaster, and in the end, the doctor couldn't even check my prostate.
Perhaps the doctor's office is not the best place
Enjoy
to
that
twerk.
visual image, by the way. There's some horrible images in this show, and I make no apologies for that. I don't know the name. There's a bit of the brain that when you hear something makes you picture the image as well. Just turn that off. You don't want to see any of these in your heads, believe me. Fact number 5, I used to work at McDonald's, mostly flipping burgers, but we also sold fucking chips as well.
French fries.
Fact number 6, I used to go out with a parachutist with IBS, but she shat on me from a great height.
Ah.
One-liners aren't particularly autobiographical, but as I find as I get older, the jokes I write change. When I was a comic in my 20s, I wrote jokes about premature ejaculation and things like that. Now I'm in my 40s. It is prostate exams and IBS and things like that. You can't help your life leaking through into your jokes. Right, that's not...
Pun intended?
Unintentional.
Sure.
For that reason, there's a lot of jokes about dogs in this show, and that's because we've got a little dog now, and he's a lovely little thing. So that's inspired me to write a lot of jokes about dogs. But because of the way in which I work, most of those do involve dogs being hurt. And as that's no offence to our little thing, Tuvok. It's just how I work, which brings me on to fact number 7. I recently got myself a corgi boiler, and that shut the yappy little fucker up for good. Now,
Boiler? What? I mean, corgi's a dog. I don't understand the boiler.
Now, by rights, that should not have worked, because I basically told you both parts of that joke in advance, but it still did. Thank you. Fact number 8, I often confuse Americans and Canadians by using long words. Fact number 9, I've currently got a stalker. But you probably can't tell in these trousers.
I don't understand this relationship between a stalker and his trousers.
I didn't
but
realise
okay.
when I wrote that joke it would have the unintended consequence of making a room full of people stare at my groin. By the way, I didn't really think that through. I'm sure if there's any stains, it's just toothpaste. Don't be disgusted. It's not my toothpaste. Right now.
It's supposed to be better?
Fact number 10, sometimes I leave out because it's too dodgy, but tonight it's back in. We're clearly fine with this. Fact number 10, personally I prefer morning sex, as it's when people are recently bereaved, they're at the most vulnerable. That was a good test of your sensitivities as an audience. You let me get away with most things, but you got the subtler ones as well. Audiences on any given night tend to go one of 2 ways. Some crowds prefer the stuff that's maybe a little more highbrow or subtle. Some crowds prefer the stuff that's a bit ruder or darker. It tends to go one way or the other. So later on, I've got 2 spare clipboards full of jokes, depending on what kind of jokes are getting the biggest laugh. Here I've got the sort of slightly cleverer jokes. There you go. And here I've got the disgusting jokes. And later on...
Well, you know which way that crowd's going.
I mean, I'll be honest, I am going to try and angle the show that way, but, let's have a bit of foreplay first, sir, eh? I mean, Jesus, as it is, I've barely spat on my fingers, don't look... What?
Good grief.
What? Don't be so disgusted. I know that somewhere in here there's a girl from Runcorn going, oh, he's posh.
Familiar with Runcorn? Okay.
Right. Well, I've got a feeling I know which way that's going to go tonight, don't I? Right, here we go. Let's get some jokes out, shall we? I had a very stressful journey getting here today. All the way, this lorry driver was right up my arse, but it was nice of him to give me a lift. Things I'll do for a Yorkie. And I think that's why it's not for girls, but... No, but look, seriously, it was a long drive, so I stopped for a piss at a little chef, but unfortunately, he ducked at the last second. So I barely splashed his hat. Yeah. That's my favourite bit of that joke. That's why that's in the show. My grief counsellor died recently, but luckily he was so good I didn't give a shit.
Okay, served its purpose, I guess.
So the other day, I was doing the hoovering in my pants, and I thought to myself, how do my bollocks get this dusty?
Not enough use?
I think it's probably the creases. I don't know. What? Yeah, could be the eczema. I don't know. Anyway. I'll just have a drink while you all get over that disgust.
Maybe a little better wash.
I used to be a fortune teller, but all I ever predicted was really cold winters. Turned out the crystal ball shop had sold me a snow globe. I think the hardest part of making skimmed milk must be throwing the cows across the lake.
Not how that works. Good luck throwing a cow.
Of course, some of the cows only make it halfway across the lake.
That way you get half and half.
I went on a barging holiday, I haven't got a boat, I just kept pushing people into canals. I tried swimming with dolphins, but I didn't like it as I found them very clicky.
Well, that is how they communicate.
In my old job, I just used to punch buttons all day, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to do panto.
I don't know what panto is.
Thank you. The other day I was chewing on some monkey nuts, and now I'm banned from the zoo.
Monkey nuts? What?
I don't like to eat anything labelled reformed ham, as I think it's unfair the pigs are slaughtered after they've got their lives back on track.
Would reformed ham be like spam?
Every Christmas Day, we always have pigs in blankets, or as you probably call it, relatives sleeping in the spare room. It's tradition in our family that we always have a Christmas jumper, and then it's my job to talk them down.
A jumper's like a sweater or something, right?
Christmas morning, we'd always wake up and go, has he been? Has he been? Has he been? Because we knew Dad wouldn't put the presents out until after he'd had a shit.
We usually do that the night before. Before the parrot goes to sleep.
Yeah.
But after the kids have gone to bed.
It wasn't the jingling of bells we listened out for at our house, believe you me.
It's the flush.
Me and my little sister under the covers. I think I can hear Santa straining. I think I can smell his reindeer. I spent most this afternoon hanging out at the swimming baths, and then somebody told me and I popped it back in again.
A little more
Another lovely
fabric
mental
to your
image
shorts.
for you all on that joke there. A 46-year-old testicle popping out the side of a pair of Speedos, but at least it was nicely vacuumed. Yeah. I've got callbacks in this show. Oh, yes. I'm a big fan of the imaginary conversation style of joke. I started using it quite a lot, and I thought I was being quite innovative in my use of that, and then I realised it's you know, like there's two people having a chat, you know, as if there's two people. And I thought that was quite interesting and new, but I didn't realise it's actually one of the oldest joke formulas in the world, if you think about it. It's the old "my wife's been to the West Indies, Jamaica" joke format, isn't it? But that's not going to stop me using it, so here we go. Some cannibals broke into a convent near Coventry. None eaten. See? It's just... I saw a stripper taking drugs earlier, smoking crack, yes, and her tits were pretty good. There you go.
Okay.
I bought some... Oh, wait. I bought some fancy pens at a nudist art shop. Felt tips? No, but I touched a couple of bollocks.
I was thinking more of the ones that you flip over and like, clothes fall off or something. That would be a fancy pen.
A Muslim guy bought one of the little houses at the end of our road. Terrorist. No, he works in IT, you big racist.
Terrorist. That's terrorist.
So last summer I poured boiling water over all the ants in my garden and all the uncles were furious, so... I accidentally kicked my dog early and it bit me on the bollocks. My mate said, it's karma. I said, no, if anything, it's even more angry. I tell you what always catches my eye, short people with umbrellas.
Possibly. That could happen.
The area in Nando's between the front and back door is called the peri-perineum. And what I like most about that joke is that people who know what a perineum is usually haven't heard of Nando's.
Not heard of Nando. Well, apparently it's broken up into 3 parts, and that was part 1. And yeah, I don't know what a Nando is. And being he's British like Sarah Millican is, there's some English references that as an American I don't get, or about how their cities are. I don't know why Manchester is so bad. But there you go. Part 1 of his this one-liner act here. And hope that starts your weekend with a giggle. And thanks for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe. If you have any recommendations for other comedians or videos or anything to watch, drop it in the comments.